Fernando Tatís Jr. made some history yesterday against the Guardians. Like, he was the first player in MLB history to do what he did. Jesus Sanchez, he saved the Marlins with an insane catch at the wall yesterday against the Mariners. Ohtani, he hit a baseball nearly 460 feet the other way, and the A's, they're looking for their 8th win in a row, but no one showed up for this one. All of that in today's MLB Recap, a series in which we talk about every single game, almost every single day, and a reminder, if you're going to any baseball games or concerts anytime soon, use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek. Now, before we get into the games from yesterday, I do want to give you guys some updates on some injuries around the league. Vinny Pasquantino, the Italian Nightmare, he's going to be out for the rest of the year. He tore a labrum in his right shoulder, so he's going to have to go through surgery. Another injury that is going to cost a player his entire season, Lance McCullers, he is out with right forearm injury. He's going to be out for the remainder of 2023. Another Astros injury update, Yordan Alvarez, he's going to be out for the next 4 to 5 weeks with an injury to his oblique, which does not sound fun at all. That's painful. All right, the first game from yesterday, game number 2 of the Subway Series, we have Justin Verlander and Garrett Cole facing off, and they were both really, really good. They threw a combined 12 innings. They had 14 strikeouts between the pair of them, and they only allowed 1 earned run each. Now, after they came out, the Yankees actually went up 3-1 after IKF stole home off of Brooks Raley. You can't go from the windup if there's a runner on third base, or at least in my opinion, you can't. Now, unfortunately for Yankees fans, that lead was short-lived as the Mets tied it right back up on awful's Yankees baseball. There was a hit by pitch. There was a single from Starling Marte, which led to Brandon Nimmo coming up in the 10th inning, and he walks it off. I'm not sure if Jake Bauers gave up on that baseball, but to me, it didn't look like he gave his best effort, or he just is bad at defense. I don't know which one it is. The Mets, they walk off the Yankees and win 4-3. Another really close game, we have the Astros and the Nationals, a repeat of the World Series a few years ago. Jose Abreu, he was all of the Astros offense to start this one. He had a 2-run double, which was followed up by a big boy home run. Yainer Diaz, he popped off as well. He made it 4-zip Houston. Framber Valdez, he was Framber Valdez. He cooked Washington over 7 innings. He allowed just 1 run. He struck out 6. Now he's going to hand the ball off to Ryan Presley, who hasn't really been himself this year. He's usually very dependable, but as you can see, he blew it. That's his 3rd blown save of the year. Now the Astros, they end up walking it off on, what do you even call that? A walk-off missed call? Let me know in the comments. Do you think that this should have been called runner's interference? Davey Martinez, the manager of the Nationals, he was not happy and he brought receipts.
There it is, right there. Take a good look at it. Is that on the line? I don't think so. I'm over this play. Seriously. They need to fix the rule. If this is what the umpires see, that he's running down the line, I'm tired of it. Tired of it. Fix it. We lost the game and he had nothing to say about it because he can't make the right call. Brutal. Brutal.
Now, we are going to talk about the Cardinals and the fact that they could be trading Nolan Arenado or Paul Goldschmidt. We'll talk about that later on, so do not go anywhere. But right now, I want to talk about Jose Barrios. He was twirling that thing. Definitely sounded weird, but look at him go. He took a no-no into the 5th inning, and then he got through the 5th inning. So before we talk about him going out for the 6th, I do want to show George Springer, the latest member of the 10 home run club, Barrios. Again, he took a no-no into the 5th. He completed the 6th, so he's taking a no-hitter into the 7th inning, and Ali Rutschman, my guy, he ruined the vibes. He goes up the middle with a single. Baltimore, they're not going to get no hit, but shout out to Jose Barrios. He went 7 2/3 a shutout. He has a 3.28 ERA on the season, which is mind-blowing considering he might have been the worst pitcher in all of baseball last year. 2-hit Whit, Mr. Whit Merrifield, and Bo Bichette, they added some insurance runs on RBI doubles, and Romano, even with a scary 9th inning, he got his 19th save as the Jays beat the Orioles 3-1. Kind of a slow start to this next one. We have the Red Sox and the Royals. Alex Verdugo, he scored the game's 1st run, and then Brenton Doyle, the rookie center fielder, he was flying out there. 90% of Earth's surface is covered by water, and the other 10% is covered by Brenton Doyle. Tanner Houck was able to overcome a 2-run 6th inning rally from the Rockies. He got through 7 innings. He punched out 7 Rockies on 92 pitches, and the Sox lineup, they rewarded him for his efforts with a fat 5 spot in the bottom of the 7th inning. A sac fly from Pablo Reyes ties it, and Rob Refschneider, he rips a 2-run triple directly after that. JT, Mr. Justin Turner, he had an RBI single. Same with Alex Verdugo. Actually, that was an RBI double. They fought hard for Tanner Houck, and Tanner, he's going to get the W. Boston, they're trying desperately to get back to a 500 record. Here we go, a doubleheader between the Braves and the Tigers. There was some Spencer on Spencer crime early on. Goodness gracious, Spencer Torkelson, that ball had a family. Miggy, he now has 508 home runs for his career, and even Eric Haas, he had some fun against Spencer Strider. That's okay though, because the Braves, they made those home runs not even matter. Ronald Acuna Jr. hit another baseball 420 plus feet. He has 14 home runs and 29 stolen bases. He could have a 20-30 first half of the season. Multiple errors from the Tigers made it a 4-4 ball game when Michael Harris snatched the lead back back on a ringing 2-run double to right field. He and Ronald, they were not done yet. Ronald, he singled home Michael, and then Michael, he went yard. He's hitting .333 with 3 home runs over the last 2 weeks. The Braves, they do in fact storm back, and they take game number 1 10-7. Moving on to game number 2, Ozzie Albies, he deleted another baseball. He has 15 home runs already, and he's only striking out 14% of the time. Ronald, he said screw hitting a baseball 420 feet. I'm going to go 462 feet. He has 15 home runs, a 161 OPS plus. He's the MVP right now for me if it's not Corbin Carroll. Orlando Arcia made it 5 runs on the day for the Braves, and they almost blew it in the 4th. Matt Vierling had a home run. Oh, okay, they actually did blow it. Jake Rogers had a 3-run home run to tie it. Now, luckily, the Braves do have Eddie Rosario, and he's been looking a little better as of late. He hit a home run, and AJ Minter, he did not blow a game for once. He has 10 saves on the season as the Braves sweep the doubleheader. For the first time as a group, Fernando Tatís Jr., Manny Machado, and Juan Soto all hit a home run in the same game. Tatis has 14 home runs, 10 stolen bases. Remember, he missed the first 20 games of the season. He's hitting .417 with 5 home runs and 5 stolen bases over the last 2 weeks. Machado, he made it 2-0. I love his swing so much. Michael Wacha, he was tossing another gem, but he got into some trouble. But not to fear, Tatis is there. His defense in right field has been life-changing for San Diego. Soto lifted off later in the game. He has 11 home runs on the year. Michael Wacha, he lowers his ERA to 2.89 after throwing nearly 7 more shutout innings. He has a 1.19 ERA over his last 5 starts combined. Nelson Cruz, he still got pop in that 42, 43-year-old bat. Tatis, he flexed his arm in the 9th inning. He basically backpicks Ahmed Rosario. The Guardians, they lose 5-0 as Fernando Tatís Jr. became the first player in Major League Baseball history to put up this stat line right here. It's almost too much to remember. So yeah, he had a bunch of extra base hits, a couple stolen bases, an outfield assist. He was all over the place yesterday. Now, hopefully the Brewers can come up clutch from my guard dogs and maybe beat the Minnesota Twins. Now, it started off swell and dandy with Brian Anderson and Luis Urias both teeing off, but there's Carlos Correa again. This time he clutches up on a 2-run triple to tie it up in the 3rd inning, and it ain't tied no more. Trevor Larnach, he played Correa on a double, and my friend Joey Gallo had an RBI single from the heavens. Bailey Ober, he went back out and tore apart the Brewers lineup. He ended up striking out 7. He has a 2.65 ERA between him. You have Sonny Gray. You have Pablo Lopez, who can be good. He just has kind of stunk it up lately. You have Joe Ryan. That rotation is really, really good. And can we talk about Brock Stewart? He's thrown 21 innings this year. He's only allowed 2 runs. He strikes out the side in this one. He has been insane. Griffin Jacks, he gets the save as the Brewers have lost 6 in a row. Now let's see if the Chicago White Sox can gain some ground on the Cleveland Guardians. Jake Burger, who is this guy? He has been cooking people all year long. He is dead last in all-star voting for the DH, so make sure you go vote for Jake Burger because that's his 14th home run already. Luis Robert Jr., he now has 16. He has 37 doubles and 28 home runs over his last 164 games. Mike Clevenger, he was throwing a shutout, but he had to leave with a right bicep injury. He said after the game that he should be okay. LA, they were actually able to tie it after Clevenger left, and Mookie stole the lead on a 2-run single. The bullpen for LA, they said, yeah, about that lead, Jake Burger hit one to outer space. He ties it on his 15th home run. He has a 140 OPS plus. A reminder, please go vote for Jake Burger. Make him not the starter because that's Shohei Ohtani's job to lose, but maybe as a runner-up or something like that. Clint Frazier, he apparently still exists. He gives Chicago the lead, and they add even more in the 9th inning. Eloy, he singled in 1, and Benny Biceps, he brought home 2 more. Benintendi has 0 home runs this year. Just wanted to throw that out there. The White Sox win 8-4 over the Dodgers. All right, let's talk about the Cardinals game, shall we? Even after a Tommy Edman grand slam and a Jordan Walker single to give St. Louis a nice little cushion, it wasn't enough to hold back the Giants. I mean, I should actually just say Mike Yastrzemski. His RBI single in the 7th set up a game-tying 2-run shot in the 9th inning. The Cardinals blow another save. Gallegos, who has usually been pretty good throughout his career, he has been terrible this year. Same with Steven Matz, who St. Louis deployed in the 10th inning, and that's a fat yikes for me. I knew that the Cardinals were going to lose once I saw Steven Matz out there. Tyro Estrada, Wilmer Flores, and Lamont Wade Jr. all not going to run. Camilo Doval, he came in for his 18th save, and he got it. The Giants have won 4 in a row. The Cardinals, on the other hand, have lost 5 in a row, and now we have to ask the question, should the 27-42 Cardinals, if you're not good at math, that is 15 games under 500, should they offload some of their older stars like Nolan Arenado or Paul Goldschmidt? They desperately need some pitching and help in that bullpen because Ryan Helsley, he's going to be out for maybe the entire season. Maybe grabbing a Shane Bieber and an Eli Morgan from the Guardians Guardians in exchange for Paul Goldschmidt. Maybe that could work. But let me know in the comments if you're a Cardinals fan or just a baseball fan in general. Should the Cardinals give up on the season and ship out Goldie or Nolan Arenado for some pitching? Let me know. So we just saw the Cardinals lose their 5th game in a row, while the Reds, they're looking for their 5th win in a row. Spencer Steer, he finally broke the home run drought. He has 1 home run now over the last few weeks, but that was since he's first of 3. Stuart Fairchild launched one, and then rookie Matt McLain, he punished a 430-foot 3-run home run. The 5'8" short king is now hitting .330 with a 136 OPS plus. The 2021 Rookie of the Year, Jonathan India, he now has 25 extra base hits and a near 115 OPS plus. Alexis Diaz, he now has 17 saves, and out of nowhere, the Reds are just 1.5 games back of first place. The Reds were able to gain some ground on both the Brewers and the Pirates because both of those teams lost last night. Now, I'm going to show this random home run from Austin Hedges because he pimped it. Sir, you hit that baseball 375 feet. You raised your OPS plus on the season to 37. You have a career 57 OPS plus, and in my opinion, you jinxed your team. The Cubs went on to score 6 runs just a few moments later, all in 1 inning. Mike Tauchman, he ripped a 2-run single. Ian Happ, he did the exact same thing, meaning Chicago is now winning 6-4. Swanson, his RBI made it 7 runs, but Chicago, they actually ended up with 10 on the day. Seiya Suzuki, he knocked in 2 more on an extra base hit, and Mancini, he made it double digits. Moral of the story, if you're one of the handful of worst hitters in professional baseball history, do not bat flip, okay? Austin Hedges, I'm talking to you. You jinxed your team, in my opinion. A lot of Pirates fans might be saying, Fuzzy, you're a loser. Why are you hating on the man? Why are you hating on a random Austin Hedges home run? Well, because he was on the Guardians, and he cost us so many... I'm just going to stop talking about Austin Hedges. Okay, I'm going to move on. Here we go. The Rangers and the Angels. Texas is trying to avoid losing 3 in a row to the Halos, and Leody Taveras, he knew it was at stake in this game. Not only are the Rangers trying to avoid getting swept, but Andrew Heaney, he was facing off against his former team. He had 5 strikeouts over 3 2/3. Not the most efficient start. He didn't even make it into the 4th inning. Reed Detmers, he was pretty good though. 8 punch-outs over 6 innings. As soon as he left the game, Texas, they were able to finally get some damage on the board. Semien, a 2-run home run, his 10th. Seager, he goes back-to-back. He's hitting .357. He has 23 extra base hits and a 188 OPS plus in 36 games. Corey Seager without the shift has been an absolute cheat code. The Rangers, they scored a few more on some singles, but I got to show this random home run from Ohtani because it went 453 feet the other way. Ohtani is not of earth. Texas, they avoid the sweep. They are now 3.5 games ahead of anyone in the AL West. Staying with the AL West, we have the Mariners facing off against the Marlins, and this Yuri Perez kid is looking like he's going to be a legit problem for years to come. He's still just 21 years old. He's 6'7". He throws a billion. He used his nasty stuff to shut down the M's offense entirely. He struck out 6 over 6 shutout, and Jorge Soler, he gave him another run to work with on his 20th home run of the season. Miami, they ended up with a 4-0 lead going into the 9th when Eugenio Suarez, he sent one to the track with the bases loaded. If this one leaves, it is a tie ball game. Jesus Sanchez, he robs him. He saves the game. He has been a whole lot better defensively and offensively this year. AJ Puck, he does close it out, but in my opinion, he owes Jesus Sanchez steak dinner for the next month. The Marlins, they win 4-1, and before we show the standings in the NL East, because they are crazy, I do want to talk about one more NL East team, the Phillies. This game ended in a heartbreaking fashion. Stay tuned. JT Realmuto, his 7th home run gave Ranger Suarez even more confidence, and Suarez, he did not disappoint with that confidence. The dude went out and shoved versus a really good Arizona lineup. He had 7 strikeouts over 7 shutout innings. The only problem is he couldn't go 8, and Christian Walker was very grateful of that. It is now a tie ball game. Christian Walker has 13 home runs and 42 RBIs. And oh no, that error was costly. Instead of an inning-ending pop-up to Nick Castellanos, because again, the runner was allowed to get to third base, there was an extra out to the Phillies. It should have been 2 outs, and that would have been the inning-ending pop-up. Instead, that is a go-ahead sac fly. Jose Alvarado, he came in for the final inning. He closes it. He now has 6 saves on the year. The Phillies win 4-3. So if we take a look at the NL East, the Braves, they still lead the pack by 4.5 games. And look at the Marlins. They're 7 games over 500. They have been playing really, really well. Same with the Oakland A's. They're going for 8 wins in a row, but again, they're playing the Rays. The only problem is almost no one showed up to this one. A game after, they packed nearly 30,000 people in there. Anyways, JJ Bleday had the A's cooking early. I love his swing. It is so quick and compact. He also has a very good eye, in my opinion. Luis Medina, he was sharp early, but Tampa Bay, they started teeing off in the 5th inning. Manuel Margot, he had an RBI double. Yandy Diaz, an RBI double, Josh Lowe, an RBI single. So just like that, Tampa Bay, they steal their lead back, and from there, the Rays bullpen, they put the A's to bed. They struck out 5, allowed just 1 base hit over the final 4 innings. Jason Adam, he quietly has 11 saves as the Rays, they win 6-3, and they end the win streak of the Oakland Athletics, and I feel like the A's are about to go on a lose streak now. That does it for today's MLB recap. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, do not forget to leave a like. If you're brand new, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow for another recap.